I was like, don't you crash on me. Don't you do it. Don't you crash today. I'm running late anyway. I'm 5 minutes late. I apologize. It happened. It happened. I got stuck reading an article. Thought it was really interesting. And foundational interesting for the business. And so I had to read it. And I sent it to a friend who won't read it, but whatever. How are you this morning? I look fine, I think, on camera. I've been hitting it hard. I mean, I have been after it. And I just don't know. Let's start off today with an annoyance. I always think that's the best way to start a live stream. My wife tells me that I'm too negative, and I'm a complainer. But I like to complain, I guess. If it's funny, if we can enjoy it, if we can enjoy misery together, commiserate, let's do that, right? Or not, I don't know. I have a client, and it's a client from a long time ago, and I like them. Yesterday, in the MLS in St. Louis, the user interface is from 1983. It's terrible. The auto emails are terrible. It's unbelievably bad. We put money in dues, and somehow that money is used for things other than fixing the user interface of the software. This has been the case since I've been an agent, and so for 10, 15 years. It's just bad. It's embarrassing. I don't even like when my clients have to search through my stuff because it's terrible. It's still the best data. It's still the most timely data, but it's terrible. Let me see this here. Oh, great. Didn't help me there. Anyway, I gotta stop that. Remember, we have to turn our phones over when we're starting the live stream. Anyway, so the user interface is from 1983. My buyer was getting leads from a different real estate agent. And so rather than just tell the agent to knock it off, she put it in the spam folder, which caused my emails to go in the spam folder. And then when that happened, the MLS shut my listings off and the other agents off. And then that's when the fun has started. They say that you're supposed to write an email to a certain email address, and then within hours, the search will come back. Well, guess what? Search isn't back. Then it says, well, now you have to go and ask Hotmail, which is this particular email service, to to not mark it as spam, and then we can send them. But basically, I'm frozen out of sending listings to a buyer who actually wants to go buy a property quickly. Now, where do I go? I'll start with Maris, our MLS, and I'll say, hey, what do we need to do here? And maybe they'll know. Maybe they'll know. But maybe they won't. I mean, it's one of those things that I don't know that's going to get solved today. And it's I don't want to spend any time on it. You say, well, that's part of your business. Listen, this is stupid. This is past me. Now, I used to send listings to all kinds of people because they were always interested. People wanted to see what listings sold for in their neighborhoods and stuff like that. But I can't even do that really through the system because it marks everything as spam. People don't look at the emails, and then after 60 days, our system gets rid of them. So it's just a mess. It's embarrassing. The fact that I have to go out and get other people's stuff is bad. And so I've come up with a way, I believe, that I can work around it for free. And I think I'll do that. Now, I don't know. Gosh, guys, so much in my head. Let's move on to the next subject. Yesterday, I put in bushes in the backyard. If you watched the live stream last night, you know this. My body is torn up this morning. I put in 5 bushes. I replanted 5 other bushes, and hopefully it's going to work out. I say hopefully because we have a dog that just pees on the bushes and kills them. So I got nothing there. I don't know what I'm supposed to do about that. Can't get rid of the dog. I read you're supposed to put onions out, but then other people said onions kill the dog. I read that you're supposed to like make a place where they'll go to the bathroom in one place in the yard. And I don't want the dog to just, I mean, the dog, I don't know. I'm talking lower in the microphone than I used to because I was scolded 2 nights ago from my wife. Said I scream into the microphone, which is causing my whole personality's changed when I use my voice differently. Isn't that something? Oh, well, I think it is. So I haven't looked at the stats on anything today. I did look at my page and it looks pretty good. Looks like we're doing pretty good. Couldn't tell you. But I've had another buyer drop out of the market. Too expensive. I feel like I have 2 others that are wavering and getting ready to leave the market. I went from about 10 buyers to like 4 in 2 weeks. That's a kick to the old shins of the real estate agent. That hurts. Will they come back and use you? Maybe. But you know, once that time has passed where they've looked and it didn't work out, I mean, they tend to think that it's your fault. Which, if it's my fault for telling them that you shouldn't probably spend $20,000 over the what the last house sold for, and then another $50,000 over the asking price, you probably shouldn't put a heavy appraisal gap rider in a contract coverage because houses should appraise so that you can have that cash for other things. It makes me a bad person. Makes me a bad person. I guess. Like, I will be punished over my beliefs. It happens all the time, right? Happens all the time. So anyway, that's not good. Man, I've got all kinds of things going on. And so, you can see that I haven't gotten into the flow of the show yet. So, how are you? How are you? You say, well, there's no one there. And it's been the way that is for the last, I don't know. What number are we on? We're on the 37th consecutive stream. And there's no one. There's no one. So every day I ask, hey, how are you? And every day it's like screaming into the void, and it's kind of fun. And the fact this whole thing is kind of fun and screaming into the void. Now, will it change? Well, what reason do I have to believe that it'll change now? You say, well, you see people on YouTube and they're doing well. Why aren't you doing well? It's like, I say your show's not compelling like some other person's show. I don't know. My show's pretty compelling. You get to see a real estate agent just get whacked every day. Like, that should make you laugh. That should make you smile. Because at least it's not you, right? Better him than me. So, anyway, I don't know. I'm having a good time. I don't know why. I just think that the ability to speak to a larger audience, or the opportunity to speak to a larger audience, is so powerful. And I'm so thankful for the opportunity. I'm sorry that I'm sorry that my followers have not, flocked to the live stream, but I get it. It's 9:00 in the morning. You want to watch news? You want to watch trading advice? You want to watch how to sneak candy into your school? I mean, these are important things. And so I like the opportunity. Can we grow it into something bigger? I hope so. But now it's like, I get it. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. So now I got to scratch my ear. And maybe I do things that are not live stream enjoyable. Like we don't play any games. I don't interact with the chatters because there's no one in chat. But I'd get better. Like, honestly, if you saw my first live stream versus now, you would be amazed at how quickly things have gone. I mean, how much better things have gotten. I mean, sure, today was the first time I was late for more than 5 minutes. But I don't know, it doesn't seem like it hurt my viewership, if that makes any sense. So, with that, let's get into some articles. Let's get into our day. Let's kind of ease. Today is like, let's ease into our real estate world, because one of us is pretty beat up. Our knees are barking. Our legs are barking. Our back is barking. Our stomach is barking. I mean, it's not a good situation, and not from hunger. So, all kinds of stuff going on in my life. Don't want to talk about it, but I will. Let me. We're 11 minutes in. Let me talk about one thing that upsets me. With one of my favorite YouTubers. One of my favorite YouTubers is a guy, Derek Bury of Vice Grip Garage. And he fixes cars, and he doesn't really fix most of them. He gets them running, and then he goes on to something else. But he's really good. And for me, it's very important that if you start a project, you finish the project. Okay, so his goal is like, let me get this car running. Okay. And so every week he typically finds a car and gets it running. And that makes me happy. Okay. That's different than Restored. Those guys take even worse cars and try to get them running. But sometimes it's like, this is just terrible. It's not going to work. But now Vice Grip Garage, they go and sometimes he'll do different things. So they built a burnout car that you can also do drag strip, go to a drag race with. It's pretty impressive. The car looks terrible, but it's amazing what it can do, what they've been able to do. But he's also he travels, and I knew based on my Instagram that he was going to Florida. He's going to be in Florida over this past weekend. Okay. So I suspect that he's got like 1 million followers. I suspect that anyone that follows him on Instagram would know that he was not going to be at his house on the weekend. Now, I don't really understand the internet in the sense that like I don't understand the anonymity part of it. Like I tell you every day, I'm a real estate broker in St. Louis, Missouri, and you can find me anywhere. Like you can look me up, my address, my phone number, my email address. Like you can get in touch with me at any point in time. Like I'm not hiding who I am. I've never really particularly wanted to hide who I am. I didn't see the point. I mean, for security reasons, if someone's going to come and get me, I guess someone's going to come and get me. I actually want people to call me if they want to, talk about real estate. If they want, if you want to do that, let's, if you want to buy something in St. Louis, let's talk. So I have a little different thought about this, but he had a house in Minnesota. I don't know where, and it's not for me to know where people live. Like I don't care. Really? So then he moved to Tennessee, and I guess he thought that he was not going to be found. But I mean, if you just watch any channel, you get these clues as to where someone lives. Like V-Tuned, I don't know if you're watching him. I love V-Tuned, but he always does projects and they just start and then like I forget about him and then 3 weeks later he starts again and I lose it. Like he had a Mustang that it didn't go well. So that for the way I watch YouTube, I just watch for the kind of is the car going to run or not? Like, and if it gets too long and drawn out, it's too much for me. So anyway, he moved to Tennessee. He posts on Instagram or he posts on social media that he's going to the Freedom 500, which is in Bradenton, Florida, over the weekend. He comes back apparently to the house and someone has rifled through all this stuff and stolen at least one carburetor. This was like a clear violation. Like it was not good. Like you broke the internet rules. Like, and it's not funny. I'm just saying like there are certain unwritten rules and one of them would be you don't go to a location if you're not invited. Okay. And you certainly don't look through cars and pull carburetors and stuff like that. Now, here's the part that gets interesting. I don't know if the person that went through all of this stuff is the same person that, would have been a fan. It's hard for me to believe as a fan of someone, you would do anything to, hurt them. Like, why would you hurt someone that you're a fan of? I don't know if I said that right, but like, why would you cause duress to someone that you enjoy watching their program on YouTube and you don't pay anything for it? I literally don't have to pay a dime to watch this show every Friday or Saturday night. And so it's bad. And so then he's upset. I would be upset, I guess. If someone came into my house and stole my computer while I was, somewhere else, that would make me sad. It's like I couldn't live stream. But right now I'm live streaming to no one, so I don't know that really hurts that much. Maybe it's a blessing. Maybe my wife would do it when I'm not paying attention. So he puts out a $5,000 reward for the information leading to, at least some sort of, understanding what happened. And then what was so fascinating to me, and this is the part of the internet that I don't really understand, like I don't think that I hide things on the internet. Like, I think you know who I am pretty well. And other people do hide on the internet, and they do it for a number of different reasons, and I get it. But you never know if someone you're talking to is just trying to get under your skin, if they're just a bad person, or if they're just not even real at all, if it's a bot. But one of the people on the Instagram wrote that it's not kosher to make a bounty of $5,000 for information. And I think Vice Grip Garage responded back like, this has been going on since BC. And it's like, yes. And of all the things to say, like, here you've been, like, I don't know if you guys ever been robbed. It's not a good feeling. I've been robbed a couple of times at this point. And you feel like it was an offense against you. It was personal. I don't know if it is, but the psychology is, at least in my mind, hardwired. Like, you have committed an act of aggression against me. And because we live in a society, because there are some rules depending on where you go and who you are, because there are some rules, like, I feel like I understand them for the most part, and I will, within society, not come after you with, swords. But the thought does cross my mind. Yeah. So, because you've committed a transgression against me that is not forgivable. So anyway, I don't know what's going to happen. I know that he posted maybe 2 weeks ago that he was looking for more acreage in Tennessee, which I feel bad. Like, I'm not going to say he has a problem, because his problem is getting him money to feed his family. But people that acquire cars, like, I love cars. I love cars. There's nothing I would rather be doing than screwing around with a car every day. But up until YouTube, I couldn't figure out a way to monetize it. You say, well, you could go be a mechanic. No, that's not what I like. And that's one thing that I think we're going to be losing with the culture as we go on. I mean, no complaint, but once you make a car electric entirely, and you say the software is proprietary and you're not allowed to fix it, no one's going to be walking around 100 years from now and saying, oh, can we get this Tesla to work? Can we go find it in a barn somewhere and get it to work? It's just not going to happen. It's like your phone. Like, would you, like, I have, I think, an iPhone 6, but like the original iPhone, can you imagine trying to rock an original iPhone right now? It's just not going to work. So anyway, what is my point? Let's try to, make some sense out of this. My point is, what happened was wrong on many levels. And I wish nothing but the best for Vice Grip Garage. I hope that this doesn't scar him to where he changes his content or where he changes his personality or anything, because the people are watching the show because of him, and that's where I'm going to leave it. Thank you for allowing me to have a platform to be able to express my views on this topic. Now 21 minutes in, and I do look at the time because I don't want to take more time than I need to, but I also I like to be able to mark like where stuff is for chapters now, because I've been doing chapters. I haven't really gotten a response from anybody that's like, hey, I really like your chapters and thanks for doing that. And that's okay. That's okay. Don't feel bad. You're not required to. I've just been putting in chapters and stuff like that on the live stream and changing out the thumbnail and things like that, because right now my viewership isn't where it needs to be. And if I can do anything to help get my viewership where I would like it, then I'm going to do that. And hopefully you understand, and hopefully that works out for you. So let's go into an article. Now, I'm not proud of this article. Let me preface it by this. And let me also say that there's something screwy in the Google search, because on the email that I was sent at like 5:40 in the morning for my Google search alert, it said there were 200,000 searches yesterday. And yet when I went to the actual Google search trends page or Google Trends page today, it was gone. Now, why is that? I don't know. Is there something nefarious going on? Is it a topic we're not allowed to discuss online? I don't know. Is it me? I'm just going to go through the article and you tell me, what's going on, if that's reasonable. So here we go. This is from the New York Post, but it was everywhere. Oh my gosh. I've got all kinds of stuff on the other screen. No, I don't need notifications right now. I'm dismissing that. And I don't need this. And I don't need this. Is this an ad? Yeah, that's an ad. Okay, so it says the dead rapper's body propped up in club for disrespectful public viewing. I thought this was interesting. It was like the hip hop equivalent of the Weekend at Bernie's. It says Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C.'s Bliss nightclub has apologized over an appalling spectacle in which the body of a slain rapper, Goonew, I'm going with Goonew. I think that sounds good. If it's different, I apologize. No offense meant to the family. Was good Lord. We're going to go with wait. Hopefully it doesn't crash. After the hip hopper was shot dead at 24 years old. Now, so here's what we have. We have a rapper who's 24 years old dead, and that's bad. It's not going well. So then, now that we have this dead rapper, someone came up with the idea to take him to the club and put him on display, similar to Weekend at Bernie's. Now, that doesn't seem like a good idea. But do you remember, like, did you ever watch a Western? Like they would shoot the people and then they would put them on display in their coffin before they, I suspect, buried them. I don't know. I want to say that like Lenin's tomb is like glass around it. But anyway, death is a cultural thing to me. And it changes over time. And this, I'm not apologizing for this, but what I'm saying is this thought, someone thought this was a good idea. And I think it was, I want to believe that it was out of respect. Now, when we see war, which is terrible, often like the dead are mistreated, which is wrong. In any case, there's something about the human body and then the human spirit. And I mean, just our own hardwiring. I think if you ever saw the images of Gaddafi at the end, not good, not something that I ever want to see burn into my mind. And so I make it a point to try not to see those kinds of things. Anyway, let's continue. Our deepest condolences to Goonew's families, friends, and fans. The venue wrote in a statement, which was shared on Instagram Monday by The Shade Room. Bliss was contacted. Bliss, I don't know, they were at Bliss, but maybe The Shade Room is like a sister club. Bliss was contacted by a local funeral home to rent out our venue for Goonew's homegoing celebration. So even now, even as it unfolds, like there was going to be a celebration of his death. Now it's similar to a wake. Anyway, Bliss was never made aware of what would transpire. We sincerely apologize to all those who may be upset or offended. Please keep Goonew's family and friends in your prayers at this time. Now, they're apologizing for people being offended that there's a dead body being propped up on stage. And like no one saw that coming. Like people feel that they should have gotten a warning. And this is all about like how people respond to death. It's very fascinating. So like myself, I typically, like, even when I go to a funeral, I'll just pass by the casket, not looking in. Because I don't want to remember someone as dead. You know that I know? I mean, maybe that makes me a bad person, but it to me, you could have a closed casket every time and I'd be totally fine with that. In fact, we don't even have to have the casket there. We can have a nice little memorial service and not have to deal with any of this. But this is my own personal thing. I mean, I see people go up and hug and kiss. Oh, I mean, that's just not where I'm at. Let me check the chat. Okay, there's no one there. Let's keep going. So, if one of the questions I have on this particular case is, how do we be offended about a situation where we were never there? Does that make any sense? Like, we weren't there. Like, you didn't offend me because I wasn't there. I didn't know anything about it. I don't know who Goonew is, and I don't, Anyway, let's continue. The statement was posted amid trending Twitter footage that reportedly showed the slain rapper, whose real name is Markel Morrow, apparently propped up on stage at Bliss nightclub while mourners raved around him like an Irish wake. And see, that's kind of the first thing I thought. The hip-hopper's corpse was decked out in a hoodie, a blinged-out watch, and a crown. Now, I mean, there's no question that something is transpiring where it's a positive thing, where you're wearing a blinged-out watch and a hoodie and a crown. Like, do you see this goes like into a different realm? This is a different realm. This is something like they're moving in a different direction. So then a source who attended the macabre public viewing entitled The Last Show, which that is fascinating in itself, confirmed that there was a $40 cover charge to enter the venue, the Shade Room wrote in a prior post. Now it's getting a little weird. Now are we going to a club to party with Goonew, who's dead, on stage? Like, what are we doing here? Like, this got weird all of a sudden. Like, you typically don't pay to attend a funeral. It's not that I know of. I'm not an expert on funeral services. Now, this may not have been a funeral, and that's what makes it even more strange. Like, there was I don't know. Like, how does this happen? Like, does the family say, hey, he would have liked to have a party? Can we have a party at a club? And then the funeral department, the funeral director says, sure, why not? Let's call him. And then like, is anybody putting on the brakes here anywhere? And I don't want to credit, if this is the way he would have wanted to go out. I'll just tell you about how I want to go out. And this is kind of how my wife and I, talked about it, so that I want to be shot out of a cannon naked when I'm dead. And I think that would be a really fine way to go. Now, do I want the cannon company that shoots me out of the cannon to apologize on Instagram after I've been shot out of the cannon? No, I think we all knew what I wanted. I mean, it was my wish. While initially unclear if the figure was Goonew's actual corpse or a mannequin, the general consensus is the body was in fact his. Now, to me, again, I mean, this is something where I feel like we should take enough time. Do you ever remember, like, there was like maybe Coachella one year had a hologram of Tupac? He's up there dancing and whatnot, but he's dead. And I don't know. I was at Springfield, Illinois, and they have like at the Lincoln Memorial Service place or whatever. That's all a hologram. So they're cool, but it's not the actual body. That's where the line gets drawn. Like, no one wants to see him bring Tupac up there, now. During the event, Goonew's body was propped on stage wearing designer clothing and a crown, the Shade wrote on Instagram. Meanwhile, per XXL Mag, Black Fortune, a rapper who performed at the event, wrote an Instagram story, "No, this ain't no wax figure. My Brody went out gangsta." So there's now the cover charge is being sent, I suspect, at some point to Black Fortune. It's like a show. Social media found the display obscene and disrespectful. Now, what do I care what social media said? Well, because you can write an article about what they say. It's like fodder. Okay, so no way Goonew Mama approved that ST. That's so sad and disrespectful, wrote one aghast fan on Twitter. That's an interesting description of the fan. Another offered, "If y'all saw that video with Goonew's body, y'all can't tell me this society ain't already collapsed." Well, okay. I'll go with you on that one. It's collapsed. Now what? See, that's the thing. Like, I know it's collapsed. I agree with you. Now, there's a couple of questions on that. One, has it always been collapsed and we just didn't know about it until now? That's question number one. Number two, like, when does it get better? Like, when does it fix? Like, how does it fix? Like, That's number two. I mean, that's where I'm at. And a lot of these problems like that look like they're coming, like shortages of food. Okay. Like it's what? This is April. And it's just slowly constricting. It's not moving like, like, oh no, now we don't have food. It's like just every day, just marching on to less and less of what I would say wealth. Every day there's a little bit less. There's a little bit less freedom. There's a little bit less food. There's a little bit less energy. There's a little bit more cost. Every day we just kind of march down this path. It says, this is madness, spluttered another gawker on the gram. Who thought this was a good idea? I think that's a fair question. I'm not so sure that the people that put this together did this. I think they might have done this out of respect. It says, even hip hop icon 50 Cent weighed in on Twitter writing, oh shit. I apologize. I didn't mean to curse, but it was here. I just realized what this is. Meanwhile, another tweeter, reportedly an employee at the bar, expressed shock upon arrival, claiming that they were not clued in beforehand about what they witnessed. And now to me, that seems wrong. Hey, can you come to work tonight? Sure, man, I'll be there. And now we got a fella that's passed and we're partying it up in the club. And it's like, he's up there. And it just, again, certain people have this reverence for the dead. Certain people don't. I personally find this to be off-putting. But again, if somebody wants to do it, who am I? Don't try this with like people that I'm close friends with. If it was like a friend, this way, no. But again, each their own, I suspect. Imagine walking into work and it's a deceased body on display. They didn't warn us. They didn't tell us. They didn't even know. That when I say I've officially been traumatized this year, I mean it. A lot of trauma in the world. Morrow had reportedly been shot dead by an unknown assailant in District Heights, Maryland on March 18th, per an announcement in the Prince George's County Police Department. Now, I wasn't familiar with Goonew. This says he was shot on the 18th. It's now April. He's been dead for quite some time. The only way we know this rapper, the only way we know this man is through this spectacle at his passing. Once on the scene, they located an adult male suffering from a gunshot wound. According to the department, the victim was taken to a hospital for life-threatening injuries. At approximately 7:30 p.m., the victim was pronounced dead. It says police are currently offering a $25,000 reward for information that leads to the arrest of a suspect in the shooting. And there's Goonew. So, hey, I think we've done all we can do with this story. I don't wish it on anyone. And we will move on. We will move on to luxury homes for sale in Philadelphia. Now, not a good setup for me today. Like, this is a condo for $25 million. I don't particularly like new construction. This is a condo for $15 million. It doesn't do anything for me. The next are all like, this one is a lot to build on. This one is new construction. And I don't want to live in new construction. I don't really want to show off new construction. This is a new listing. Let's check. I mean, maybe it sucks. I don't know. It's the first one. It's brokered by Compass. $7.6 million. 3 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. 4,300 square feet. It's been on the market 5 days. There's a 2-car garage. It's built in 2017. And there's a $4,300 a month HOA fee. I'm not reading that. Too much. Let's see the property history. It was listed in 2021, and the listing was removed in 2022. It says 331, so it's just put back on the market maybe today. But let's look. There's 62 pictures again. We're going to maybe hit 50 if we're lucky. I don't know if that's your unit or if you're looking at that unit from where you are. And I mean, we can suspect that the place is like close to downtown, close to all the things. There's a nice kitchen, very open floor plan. So far, we haven't gotten out of the kitchen. I mean, there's a bridge. And like, I don't know, but why am I spending $7.6 million in Philadelphia? Like, what am I getting for this? No offense, but like, why am I doing this? Like, am I an executive at an organization or something to justify this type of purchase? I mean, it's a very nice unit. I mean, look at all the views and everything. It's wonderful, right? I mean, look at that bathroom. It's beautiful, but to me, it's just, that's all fake, by the way. There's no kids living there. There's nothing. I mean, there's a nice laundry room. I mean, I guess you can live anywhere, right? So to me, this is just, I'm done. That was $7.6 million. Now, these are new construction. It's hard to believe that $7.5 million, the way that looks. I have to believe that they're going to just tear that down. This is another unit. Is it in the same spot? No. Here's the first townhouse. So I'd like to look at that. 64 pictures. The most respected name in real estate. That's a bold prediction. Townhouse, 197 days on the market, 3-car garage built in 1852. I've seen this house before. But we'll go look at it again because why not? It's been listed since 2020. We're 2 years in. We started at $8 million. We're down to $6.5 million. We missed it by $1.5 million. Well, let's go. So, I mean, it's cool, right? You're on an awesome street. And this is a great house. There's no question. Okay. I don't understand why we're taking all these pictures from like the waist up. Maybe that'll change. It's actually gotten higher. Oh, there we go. There's our first picture of something below the waist. There's a head on the table right there. Okay. It doesn't say how many square feet it is. I'd like to know. I mean, how many square feet are we talking about here? And that's beautiful. It's got a lot of light. It's got an elevator. Who doesn't love a good elevator? I mean, there's like an attention to detail. There's things in this house that you can't get everywhere else. It's gorgeous. I mean, I get it. I get it. I mean, we've looked at places in Los Angeles. We've looked at places in California, New York. I just feel like for $6.5 million, I would just go somewhere else. It's a beautiful home. Beautiful home. And I hope that they sell it for whatever they want and they go on with their lives, and it's wonderful. You can see it's been updated, tastefully done. I got a rooftop vista. Okay, I'm done. Anyway, that is our first townhouse, $6.5 million. Beautiful. Congratulations to that agent for getting the listing. The third one, this is on the same street, 6.2 million, 5 bedrooms, 4.5 baths, and 5,000 square feet. This is the one that this is the last one we're going to look at for today. 350 days on the market, so not moving quite that fast. $1,250 per square foot, built in 1918, and there is a 2-car garage. Let's look at the property details. That's too much. I'm not reading that. Property history. Last sold in 2017, put on the market in 2021, and where it has stayed. They've given you a $500,000 price improvement. That's what they say, price improvement. That means they missed on the price. They were greedy, but we'll call it a price improvement. Okay, let's look at the house. It says 1833 Delancey Place, Philadelphia, and look, there's the 1833 on top of the window. I believe that's called a transom. Look, they've got a breezeway. Isn't that wonderful? I mean, just that's when you walk in, bam, a nice little sitting area. It makes so much sense. Look at that carpet. Look at that kitchen. I mean, this is well done. I wonder if the sound really, really transfers from above. These look like floor joists. Not a complaint, just an observation. I mean, they have gone with a color palette and they've stuck with it in every room, and it's gorgeous. I mean, just to have this life to where you have all this stuff. I mean, look at this. It's like, look at me. I have very expensive purses, and I have very nice shoes, and I have very nice suits. And you look at my closet, and it's not even, my closet at my house is not even that big right there. I mean, people in this world have so much, and then some have so few. It's really impressive. Look at that, just gorgeous. Now, would I want to live here? No, this isn't for me. This isn't for me. I'm not going to live in a downtown, heavily populated area. Beautiful subway tile. I mean, just a beautiful laundry room. I don't know if I like the idea of working from home. I don't know if I like this, but whatever. Little play area for the kids. There's your, I don't know what to call that, and a rooftop outdoor space. Wine bar. I mean, it's great. It's great. Is it $6.2 million great for John Shink of Deerwood Realty? No. No, it's not. But I'm glad we looked at it. Okay. So we're done. We're done. Philadelphia is gone. I want to check the chat. No one's in the chat. Let's continue down the road. Now, I screwed up. I just need to put something in here. Okay. If you heard that, all it was me hitting the backspace button. Now, the first article is a fascinating one for me, and it's the new Home Jab Survey. Let me just check, make sure we're good. New Home Jab Survey shows impact of COVID-19 on real estate agent marketing spending trends. Now, okay, I'm interested. Nothing for me. I'll be honest with you. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed other than the buyer's market is just like, if you're a buyer, you're miserable. The enjoyment of finding your first home is no longer enjoyment. It's a chore and it sucks. That's the only thing that's changed. But I don't know if that's because of COVID. It could be because of government policies, like COVID response. But I mean, I don't know. If you say get rid of the pandemic, does the housing market look like it is now? I just think it's too complicated to know. I mean, I believe that the Fed is largely responsible for this issue, maybe like 90% responsible. So maybe you could title the article, New Home Job Study Shows Impact of Federal Reserve Bank and Their Silliness on Real Estate Agent Marketing Spending Trends. New study. Now, this is from HomeJab. I didn't go to the actual HomeJab article because it was in PDF, or the press release, and I don't know how to do a PDF press release screen share on Streamlabs, but I can do it on my StreamYard, which I haven't put in place for this because I kind of like it the way it is. No one seems to be turning me off because of my ability to use StreamYard. I may at some point go StreamYard on this. It's just not going to be today. I reserve the right. By the way, on Our Nature and Employment, I did start a Twitter page so that you can follow and know when I'm planning on posting new content, or if I'm planning on going live. I think that's the number one reason for Twitter. Anyway, a new study of real estate photography data from HomeJab. So already we are like narrowing it to real estate photography. Finds a significant geographic difference in the amount of marketing dollars agents spent before the pandemic for listings and the amount they spent coming out of the height of the COVID-19 outbreak. HomeJab, which provides real estate agents on-demand professional real estate photography, 3D virtual tours, aerial and other visual production services in every U.S. market in all 50 states, studied more than 43,000 real estate photography assignments from 2017 to 2021 in 5 regions: Midwest, Northeast, Southeast, Southwest, and West. The new HomeJab research found that real estate agents in the West, Northeast, and Midwest are spending more for real estate listing photography services coming out of the pandemic than before the start of the pandemic. Well, is that inflation? Real estate agents in the Southwest and Southeast either spent more or modestly less for real estate listing photography service since the pandemic began. Nationwide, the real estate listing photography service was up 5.9% from post-pandemic orders and now averages $229 per order. I'm not going to tell you what I pay. Real estate agents in the West spend the most, averaging $279 per order. Midwest real estate agents spend the least, averaging $200 per order, nearly 40% less than real estate agents in the West. Now, we're talking about a difference of $80. Not really enough to get excited about. Northeast real estate agents spend the second least amount, and Southeast and Southwest real estate agents' average spend for real estate listing photography services average between $229 and $235 respectively. This is a bizarre quote. Professional real estate listing photography orders by real estate agents clearly remained a vital marketing investment in many of the hottest markets during the COVID outbreak. Our research shows that during a time when homes were flying off the shelves and multiple offers hit new high, agents still understood the power of visual images for their real estate marketing. Now look, you just have to. Like, you have to have professional photos if you're going to be a listing agent. Like, don't be stupid. I mean, what is your seller paying you for? Like, they're paying you because you look pretty? No, they want to get their house sold. How do you get the house sold? Take good pictures. Like, that's like rule number 1. Not hard. And it says prominent blue states, which I would never, ever, 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 ever put political motivations in a press release designed to market your company. I mean, you are really not with it for doing that. So New York, go figure, it's more expensive. And then prominent red states, they decreased or modest increase, but that's got nothing to do with your politics. Nothing at all. For Giswale, the fact that prominent red states spent less was not surprising. The banning of open house happened faster and lasted longer in blue states. Red states were not as dependent on 3D tours and other photography services that helped remote buyers make home purchases. Buyers and sellers in blue states, it appears, needed these services. This is ridiculous. 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 The banning of open houses has nothing to do with real estate photography. I'm just like, this is why the channel exists. To see articles like this and tell you from a real estate agent's perspective who lives and dies on real estate transactions. My family, their ability to eat is determined by the amount of listings and buyers I can help buy houses and how many people I can help sell their house. As that being the case, there's no way that politics didn't matter in any way in the way people agents choose to get listing photos. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Stop using the pandemic as a marketing tool. And we know you did it. It was bad. Blatant. Next up on the list, Commercial Weekly. This is an article. Florida's hot rental market leads to highest share of cost burden renters. I thought this was interesting. It's not long. Let's take a look here. It says, please note the Tableau data visualization embeds in this poster best viewed on a laptop or desktop computer. Well, that's good. We're on one. It says apartment asking rents. Let me just check and make sure there's nobody in the chat. Okay, there isn't anybody in the chat. We're going to continue. Apartment asking rents are rising at double-digit pace in 35 of 390 metro areas, according to NAR's analysis of asking rent data in those areas. Nationally, asking rents are up 11% year over year. Most of these double-digit rent increases are occurring in the Sun Belt and mountain states, with Florida rising as the hottest commercial market. 35% of metro areas have double-digit apartment asking rent growth as of March 10th. Okay. And there's these things here. I don't know if that's to go. I don't know. But anyway, Florida's market remains hot, with several metros experiencing rent growth at least 20%, such as Naples, Fort Myers, Palm Beach, Orlando, Tampa, and Fort Lauderdale, Port St. Lucie, and Punta Gorda. This isn't good. This isn't good. Demand, measured by 12-month absorption, has outpaced supply in Florida's main metro areas. So Florida's rent growth is likely to increase at a pace faster than the national rate. In Orlando, there were 4,815 more units that were absorbed compared to the number of units that were delivered in the market in the past 12 months, followed by Miami at 3,647 units and Fort Lauderdale at 2,800 units. This isn't good. Apartment demand outpaces supply in Florida markets. It's true. You can see it right there. Kind of weird. Nobody's going to be in Jacksonville. What is that about? I don't know. The highest rent growth and high demand relative to supply makes Florida the state with the highest share of renters that are cost burdened. And this is what I think is a very important thing. In 2020, 53.2% of renter households spent more than 30% of their income on rent or are considered cost burden. Hawaii and California are the next states with the highest share of cost burden renters at 51% and 50% respectively. The combination of high rent growth and rising inflation is expected to further strain rental households as cost of utilities rises. Florida has the highest share of renter households that are cost burden as of 2020. I can't imagine what it would be today. So this is a very fascinating article. And look, like, used to be, it was cheaper to rent, or it was cheaper to buy than rent, at least in your monthly payments. The prices have gone up so fast in the housing market and just single family homes that it's like they're going up, and then the rents are going up because they're like, well, we can ask for more because people are getting less. And it's just, this is a spiral that I don't feel like can continue. But it can go on longer. Like, there was this thing, like, you can bet against a market but the market can go longer than you can stay solvent. Some sort of saying along those lines. And that's something that I believe. That's something I believe. So anyway, I thought that was a fascinating article. Let me bring it down. Let me break it down here. I got all kinds of emails. Here, let's get to our base frame so we can see each other. So, where am I at? Well, buyers on my end are leaving the marketplace. They're like, screw it, we're done. Okay. Now, what is the average price range of these buyers? $300,000 and below. You say, well, John, there's your problem. It's poor people. Like, you have to understand that 2 years ago or 4 years ago, a $300,000 house was damn near a mansion in St. Louis. I mean, it was 2,200 square feet. It was 3 bedrooms, 2 baths with a 2-car garage. And that won't even buy you like a 2-bedroom home right now. It's bad. It's bad. And this is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And I don't know how to explain it to people. I don't know. How do you explain that human behavior is such that this we're watching crazy, like on a mass level. And you know what's going to happen. The thing's going to, you say, now I'm waving my finger. Ooh, sorry. Wait. Ooh, sorry that I waved my finger. I apologize. That was a moment of animation, I guess. Like I was animated. There are people that say that the housing market won't crash because there's no listings coming to the market, which is the exact opposite of what happened last time, is there were too many listings on the market. But what I feel like those people don't understand is when the market turns, there's going to be plenty of houses available on the market because people won't be able to live in them. Okay. And then all of a sudden, the people that want to buy should be able to take up that inventory relatively quickly. Now you say, well, then the prices aren't going to go down. Look, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, do I think that we can get through this? Like, if it's not in the housing market, what other things are going to blow up? Because we know there's an issue. We just don't know what's going to happen. At least like enough to where our political leaders would be able to have some intestinal fortitude and actually do something. Any of them, don't get me wrong. Biden is a Democrat, can't stand Biden. Lindsey Graham, Mitch McConnell, Nikki Haley, Mitt Romney, the significant portion of the Republican Party can't stand. Please don't misunderstand and think that I'm on one side. I mean, I have my own views, but they don't align with either political party. So anyway, we have problems. We have leaders that can't solve them because they've long since, they're just terrible people. Let's just be honest. So anyway, good luck. It's Tuesday. I'm going to talk to my wife about taking a shower because my joints are literally they're inflamed right now from my work outside. Yesterday, my hands are swollen. My every joint is achy and on fire. And hopefully, I can barely wear my wedding ring this morning. Hopefully, she will acquiesce and let me take a shower before she has to go to work. Thank you for watching. If you're watching this a year from now, you say, what did I just watch? Look, I will have done 350 live streams by then. I think we're going to go to Bosnia sometime this year so my wife can see her parents. But I won't be broadcasting during that time. That's 100% true. But anyway, thank you for watching. Subscribe. Be a part of the chat. Come and hang out. I mean, just be a part of it. It's going to be fun. every day I enjoy this tremendously. I don't even know the poor fellow that had passed away, the rapper. I forgot his name already, but I've never seen a story like that. It was wonderful. Wonderful to learn new things. And I'd love to learn these new things with you on my live stream, Deerwood Realty live streams. Thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow.